Okay, hi. I'm with Larry Brogan. Tell me your name and where it is you have your shop and in what city.
I'm Larry Brogan. I own a tattoo shop called Tattoo City Skin Art Studio in Lockport, Illinois, which is about 30 minutes southwest of Chicago.
How did you end up in Lockport?
I had started my career in Chicago, tattooed there for a few years, and was looking to open my own shop and traveled around the area, mostly the south suburbs, because I grew up on the south side, and just driving around looking for a decent location to open up, and came across the place that we're still in now, 15 years later.
And it's got a very small population. It's only about 22,000 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's
Is
nice
that enough to support a shop?
Yeah, well, with the reputation that we've got, we draw clients from all over. I have clients coming from foreign countries and stuff. So the location these days doesn't so much matter. It's more of a destination shop.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a few other artists at the shop and stuff that stay really busy as well.
What kind of tattooing do you specialize in?
Myself, I don't particularly specialize. I do a little bit of a lot of different things: black and gray, color, portraits, pinups. My own crazy custom type of stuff. Never really wanted to be pigeonholed into doing just one thing. I figured I would probably tire of doing the same thing day in and day out, and it would become too much of a job that way.
Right.
They like the freedom of having something something fresh and new to do every day.
What kind of tattoo work that comes through the door do you turn down?
There's a lot of stuff that I don't particularly care for doing these days. My schedule is pretty busy doing larger custom work most of the time. But I don't do any sort of tribal tattoos. I still will do some smaller tattoos if it's something interesting enough that I think I could put a cool spin on. But if I can work it into my schedule, and if it's something interesting enough that I would want to put in my portfolio, then I would still do
Is there anything that you will not tattoo for other reasons, like political or ethical or religious, or something that you won't do?
The things that I won't do, I won't do gang-related tattoos. I won't do like facial or hand and neck tattoos on people unless they're really heavily tattooed and or in the tattoo industry. I just generally try to talk people out of it. Mostly so I can sleep at night knowing that it wasn't me that helped ruin their potential careers and stuff in the future, because I'm sure most people realize what a facial tattoo can do for a job interview.
Mm-hmm.
So but as far as political, religious type things, I don't I mean, that's the individual. They've got their own reasons for getting that type of stuff, and I don't generally have a problem with stuff like that, as long as it doesn't seem too out of the ordinary.
Yeah. What do you think is right with the tattoo industry today?
The most right thing, I think, is the fact that all the artists, well, most of the artists in the industry share information so much these days, and it's helped to elevate the level and quality of the art. I mean, incredibly, in just the last 10 years. I mean, it's just skyrocketed, with the quality of the work. I've been tattooing nearly 20 years now, and when I started, I mean, there were a lot of good artists in the industry at the time, but the great ones, I mean, you almost count on two hands. 20 years ago, and today, I mean, you need a phone book this thick to keep track of them, and that's just the ones that people readily know of because they promote themselves either on the internet or stuff in tattoo magazines and go to conventions. And every day I come across really incredible, talented people that nobody's ever heard of. Some of these guys have been tattooing through 2, 3, 4 years and doing stuff that, it took me, 15, 20 years to be able to do myself.
Well, don't you feel somewhat like, hey, these guys, I did work that long, and these guys are picking it up quickly, and that's not fair?
Some people, I guess, would think it's not fair, but it's just the changing times, the sharing of information has helped that a lot. There's a lot of college-educated artists that are, picking up tattooing as their medium and their means of, making, a living. Which it's been a great thing that tattoo artists can earn a respectable living, doing their art. Other art forms, painters and sculptors and stuff like that, they, so many of them struggle for their whole lives to barely scratch by, and half of them have to have, other jobs, to be able to pay their bills. Unfortunately, a lot of artists don't make much of a name for themselves until they've already passed on. And their stuff becomes, more valuable, sometimes. But tattooing, it's a great lifestyle. It's not, for me, it's not even a career. It's just a whole lifestyle. Everything that I do, in a sense, focuses around, my art and tattooing. Everything, even, searching through the internet, if I'm looking for reference images, to help with some of my artwork, I come across different images that, that's an interesting piece, and maybe I can use that, in the future for, another tattoo or a painting. It's just constantly, always keeping an eye on stuff. If I see a pretty, flower in somebody's garden, I'll stop and take a photo of it if I've got my camera. Just for future reference for my art.